Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We're checking out another castle video today, although I think maybe we might have watched one video on this, but I'm not positive. They're all running together now. But this one is another one from Scotland Unplugged, who I enjoy a lot. I will link this video in the description, so you guys should absolutely go check him out, subscribe. But it's Edinburgh's Craigmillar Castle. And I will also put some links in the description of my new Sports Reacts channel. All future cricket, rugby, what have you are going to be over there. So go check it out and subscribe for me. So we can go ahead and get that channel rolling. And then also we'll have links to Patreon. I just started Cuckoo over there last week, and I'm loving that show. And it's free right now. I try to do every show, the first season at least, free. So you can go sign up for free, watch a bunch of reacts over there to full-length, unedited shows, movies, whatever. And yeah, let's go ahead and jump into this.
This is Craigmillar Castle, just outside Edinburgh. Everyone goes to Edinburgh Castle, bang in the middle of the city, but this one just might be a bit more interesting.
Look at those stairs.
It's had one or two famous guests over the years, and supposedly it's where they planned a notorious murder. It's one of the best preserved castles in Scotland, but it wasn't always in Edinburgh. The city has obviously grown from its medieval roots and sucked up more and more land over time. Although in this case, the castle park has held it off pretty well. The original
where
bit
the garden
is the tower house
was,
at the centre. That was probably built in around the late 14th or early 15th century. The walls are 3 metres thick and 17 metres tall, built for a purpose. There's a courtyard wall added in the late 1400s, and the west range dates back to sometime around the 1660s. It was a rural retreat just outside the city, and it still has the remains of gardens, and behind me a fish pond that's actually a scheduled monument. It's a bit of a rabbit warren. You could spend hours just walking around the different levels and passageways and staircases. The land round here was owned by the Preston family from 1374, and architectural historians think they may have started work on the castle sometime soon after. But the castle was inhabited for 300 years, which makes it a bit difficult to date. Like all houses, it's evolved with changing use. It has some interesting history. In 1479, John Stuart, Earl of Mar and brother of James III, was imprisoned here for witchcraft against the king. It wasn't long before he died in suspicious circumstances. In 1544, the Earl of Hereford tried to capture it for Henry VIII during a period known as the Rough Wooing. Henry had proposed a marriage between his son Edward and Mary Queen of Scots, who was at the time about 6 months old. The plan was that she would move down to England so that her upbringing could be overseen. But the Scottish nobles changed their minds at the last minute for purely selfish motives and decided on a renewed alliance with France. Henry wasn't amused and tried to make them change their minds by wreaking as much havoc and mayhem as possible. It didn't work, but the castle was burned and had to be repaired. And Mary would go on to become its most famous inhabitant. In late November 1566, recovering from an illness and possibly suffering from depression, Mary stayed in the castle. This is Queen Mary's room, although it's debatable whether she actually stayed here. It's possible she stayed in more expansive apartments in the East Range. We do know she stayed in the castle though, unlike most places she supposedly stayed. Mary had just given birth to the future James VI and was keeping well and truly out of the way. On the night of the 9th of March, her husband, Henry Stuart, Lord Darnley, had led a group of nobles into the room where she was dining in Holyrood Palace. There, they'd murdered her personal secretary and favourite, David Rizzio, right in front of her. Simon Preston, the then owner of the castle, was a loyal supporter, and it's said this is where the Craigmillar Bond, a plot to murder the Queen's husband, came together. On the 10th of February 1567, Darnley was supposed to stay here, but decided instead to go to Kirkfield, which is now underneath Edinburgh University's old college. He was smothered, and then the house he was staying in was blown up. He was found in a field nearby. Couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. Simon Preston didn't stay loyal for long though. He jailed Mary in his townhouse before she was taken to Lochleven Castle, where she was imprisoned. None of that deterred her son, James, from coming here in 1589 while he waited around for his bride, Anne of Denmark, to arrive. In the end, he gave up and sailed to meet her in Norway, but wound up in a storm that led to paranoia and the greatest witch hunt of all time. There does seem to be a recurring theme with the Stuarts and witches. In the 17th century, the lands and the castle were sold to Sir John Gilmer, Lord President of the Court of Session, a literal bigwig. He did more remodelling, but by the 18th century it was abandoned, and by 1789 the roofs were missing from some of the buildings. The castle was left standing as a sort of romantic feature, a ruin in the wider estate grounds. It was an attraction for tourists and artists who were inspired to come here and paint. In 1813, an upright skeleton was found in one of the cellars, which really only added to its attraction. And by 1842, there was a plan to renovate it for Queen Victoria. But that came to nothing. She did visit in 1886, and there was a lot of restoration work carried out, but it was never lived in again. Eventually, it fell into the care of the state, and now it's owned and run by Historic Scotland, who are, as you can see, working on it now. If you're in Edinburgh and you're a tourist, or you live here, it's well worth a look. The views are amazing, even if they do kind of push the boundaries on my fear of heights just a bit. See you next time.
That was a great video, as usual, from him. But yeah, so some of these names don't register with me, but when I start hearing the story, I think that's actually like the third video that we've watched on that one. Because I definitely remember him killing her assistant in front of her. It's like a douche. Frankly, but I think like a lot of these people were. It's just it's sad a little bit. I mean, I know like it's really costly to restore these and keep them up. And then once you do, it's costly to continue to have that upkeep and all that. But it really does make you think about like what it was in its glory day, like what it looked like when people were living there, and the just the art, the architecture. I can absolutely see why artists would want to come and sketch and paint and draw it and stuff. I can kind of let your imagination run wild with it. I was gonna say like I wonder if there is any photos of it, but I don't think there were cameras back then. But there might be some paintings, which just as good. I might have to check that out for sure. But I enjoyed that video a lot. He does such a good job of going over all of the history of it and pulling out the important bits. There's a couple of these videos that we watch where not just him, but he's one of them, of the people that do such a good job of just getting like the points and giving you like the kind of the juicy bits and all that and the stuff that made history. But yeah, I enjoyed that. I hope you guys did as well. Go check out his page if you have the opportunity. I'm sure we'll look at some more videos from him. But yeah, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, share, and have an awesome day, guys. Thanks for watching with me.